Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
Americans' shopping habits have certainly changed dramatically with the growth of the internet. The success of online shopping through Amazon and eBay has also resulted in fewer shoppers at traditional outlets like department stores. The latest casualty is Sears, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection this past week. Sears began as a watch company in Minneapolis in 1886. When Richard Sears began selling watches by mail order and later relocated his business to Chicago. He hired Alva Roebuck to repair those watches. Through the years, Sears sold all kinds of merchandise and put its brand names like Kenmore on products like washing machines. Reporter Judy Wang from WGN has reaction from Sears shoppers to this latest challenge to Sears' survival.
Weeks from now, Sears at the Golf Mill Mall will be no more. People passing by struggle to remember the last time they were in the store.
Maybe I did buy some kitchen appliances there a couple of years back, but besides that, I haven't walked into Sears in a very long time.
Christmas catalogs, Craftsman tools, Tough Skins jeans, the glory days.
Going with my parents, going with my grandma, getting clothes. My dad would buy all the tools, we would buy the appliances. My buddies and I would go walking around the mall looking to see if there were girls from school there.
The Hoffman Estates-based company's Chapter 11 filing buys it more time, allowing Sears to keep operating as it tries to become profitable again. Chairman Edward Lampert, who steps down as CEO, says, over the last several years, we have worked hard to transform our business and unlock the value of our assets. While we have made progress, the plan has yet to deliver the results we have desired. The 131-year-old company was a one-stop shop for families, becoming the nation's biggest retailer. It gave Chicago Sears Tower, now Willis Tower, the world's tallest building for more than 2 decades. But Sears failed to adapt to the digital age to compete against big box discounters like Walmart. President Trump this morning called it a sad situation.
Sears has been dying for many years. It's been obviously improperly run for many years, and it's a shame.
Toys R Us and Sears and stuff like that.
Are you sad to see this?
Yeah, it's a little bit it's saddening because I still like to go out of the house and still shop. So, so yeah, now I guess it's online shopping for now.
Well, Sears is only the latest retailer to fall victim to online stores and big box chains. The company says that hundreds of its more profitable stores will stay open in business. However, the company wants to sell many other stores. We're joined now by Dr. Doreen Saletti, Associate Professor of Business Management at Point Park University's Rowland School of Business, for thoughts on the past, present, and future of Sears. Doreen, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Thanks, John.
You know, I have to admit, I'm a Sears baby in the sense because my father loved Sears. I remember the catalogs coming into our house. I remember looking through them, and I remember us always shopping at Sears. And so in many ways, this is sad for a certain generation. But I suspect for a younger generation, Sears, what's that, you know? Is there a future for Sears?
Well, it really depends on what they do over the next few months, and with the holiday season coming up, what changes they'll make to try to reinvent themselves. You know, they really, as you mentioned with younger people, they're not so relevant. It's not a brand that young people see as an extension of themselves. They don't really feel that need to go to a place like Sears because there are other options for them, brands that resonate with them. Online shopping is another option too. And you know, Sears eliminated its catalog a few years ago rather than looking at how their experience in catalog shopping might have translated into the online realm.
Yes, I mean, that's what's really amazing. They were really ahead of their time with that catalog back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And yet they couldn't stay ahead of the times in the 21st century.
Right, right. And you know, and the retail shopper has changed. People aren't just looking to buy stuff. You know, they're really thinking about how what they buy fits in with their lifestyle, how it really solves their problems and satisfies their needs.
Can Sears become an online, I guess, supplier of merchandise? Is that too late for that?
Well, that's a possibility. You know, there was a time when Sears was really bigger than Amazon in terms of the variety of products and its reach to customers, you know, through the catalogs and the on-ground stores. So, you know, I think that anything is possible, but it really will depend on what the management team decides to do given the situation now and the lack of profitability.
Right. I mean, we still have folks, in fact, I talk to people from time to time who say they don't want to buy everything online. They do like to go in and touch and feel things. Are they just kind of weird people? Or is there really any hope at all for big box retail stores anymore?
Well, if they can create experiences within the stores, then yeah, there definitely is hope, because people still want those tangible experiences. There are some who are comfortable buying certain categories of products online. You know, shoes, for instance, Zappos has done quite well, but others who really want to be in the store, look at it, touch it, feel it, try it, make sure it's right for them.
An appliance, for example. I can't imagine buying a dishwasher or a washing machine without actually seeing it.
And there are stores like Best Buy, for instance. Other electronics category killers like Best Buy have not been successful, but Best Buy was able to reorganize not just themselves, but the store experience, so that when you went in, it was set up more like a home and in categories where people could navigate effectively and touch and try and feel and have service and support there.
Best Buy is a good example. It's working, I guess, for them.
It's working at this point.
Yeah. Hey, Doreen Soletti, always good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, John.
When the Sunday Business Page continues why the KDKA TV Turkey Fund is needed now more than ever, and how you can help thousands of our neighbors have a happy Thanksgiving and a turkey dinner. Stick with us.